Hello, I am Christian DeMatteo, co-founder of Fugitive Poems Comics, and this is another episode 20, in fact, as we get out of our teens, out of our awkward adolescence, which I'm not sure I ever really got out of, into our early 20s, which were a long, long time ago for me. Episode 20 of The Art Will Not Be Changing. I am really excited about this show tonight. We've got a great guest who's not here yet, but I can soft shoe like the best of them, and we'll be good. I got a lot to talk about, actually. I'm going to do a couple of things here. But before, let me actually start out with what I wanted to talk about. The first person that jumped into the commentary today is Luke Henderson, and that was actually going to be the first thing I was going to talk about because Luke has a really cool project going on, and I just added myself to the notify me on launch because I'm an idiot and had forgotten to do it sooner. Check out this incredible comic. It's called Letters from the Void, an existential horror comic. Everything you need to know right there in the title. It says for aeons or eons, depending on how you like to pronounce that. Ions, no, that's wrong. Humanity has shouted into the void, but now the void wants to tell its own stories. Let me tell you, as someone who has been teaching for too many years, 24 years, 23 years, screaming into the void is how I describe teaching. And if they ever wanted to tell me their stories back, that'd be tremendous. But I have a feeling that this is a bit more full of dread. So take a look. That looks like Aaron Brown art to me. I'm a big fan of Aaron Brown. Check out this incredible, beautiful Planet of the Apes inspired artwork. That looks like Ken Fontana to me, an amazing artist who did for me Albino Satanists in Heat in Daniel Wilson's incredible Zona del Mal anthology. Look at this list of creators here, absolutely great. Letters from the Void. What you want to do is get on there and click notify me on launch so it says saved like it does here, and get on it. Get ready to back it as soon as it comes out. Luke puts together absolutely incredible projects. So I'm a big fan. So that's the first thing I wanted to talk about today. And I see that we've already got a bunch of comments here. What do you do now? Should I check the Metro Crime section? Yes, you should. You never know when Luke's going to be in there. Mark, shut up. That was last week. I was there. I'm not sure. Am I missing something? I'm only seeing Mark comments. Is that is Mark arguing with himself? He's one in 3 states. Yeah, baby, existential horror. Luke's got the juice. Luke always does a great job, says my friend Claudio Gerardo. Absolutely. There is yes, I am missing context. Absolutely. Yeah. So what I want to do before we jump into our mystery guest who is mysteriously not present. I want to do something I've been meaning to do for a while. I have a massive stack of comics that have come in because when you're in this industry, you got a lot of friends, you got to back a lot of Kickstarters, you got to do the right thing. You want to see your friends succeed and you want to see the cool stuff they're making. So I am constantly getting packages shaped like this in the mail, and I wanted to open 2 of them live. The first one, I know who it's from because I recognize the address, is from Chris Stoll, also known as Long Box Punk. Chris, we've been on his show. He is a phenomenal human being and just absolutely tremendous. This is his comic, Barricade Brigade. I think it's Wet Watermelon. I don't remember exactly what the name of the punk band is. But look at this beautiful zine-style comic. You can see the size of it. You can see how it's been put together. It's absolutely gorgeous. I'm so excited about this. It reminds me completely of the zines of the 90s that I used to love. So this is my man Chris Stoll, Lunchbox would be me. Long Box Punk. Go check out his YouTube channel. Not now, wait till later. And then check out his comic. It's great. Now this next one is sliced open. This is from my further back that I haven't gotten to yet. This one, the Barricade Brigade just came in, but this came in a while ago, and I didn't even realize it. So I sliced it open. Let's take a look at what it is together. It is what I've been waiting for. The Neverland. Well, apparently I've been waiting for it, and it's been in my office, and I didn't realize that. This is from Caleb Toussaint and Marcelo Bayat, who do absolutely incredible work. This is their take. This is the whole journey on their take through Peter Pan's world. Toussaint is an incredible writer. Marcello is a a fellow fugitive, and this book is absolutely beautiful. Just gorgeous, and I am so excited. I've read a bunch of the issues of it, but I've never read the entire series. Once I found out they're putting it out in book form, I was like, well, that's what I'm going to want. Look at this. Stunning stuff. So those are two of my many packages. If you could only see around this office, this is the only neat spot here that you will see. I see that Tom Lynett is here. Tom, my copy of that came in as well. My copy of Red Collar, and I think it's right here. So why don't we kill a little bit more time? And if anybody knows who my guest was supposed to be and has his phone number, tell him to come on, because I'm doing the thing. So let's see if our friend Ken Fontano's new book is indeed what's in here. And we open another package. Blind opening. So hopefully this isn't the massive collection of dildos I ordered. Let's see what we got here. No, it is the massive collection of no. It is Red Collar. Absolutely Red Collar, drawn by Ken Fontano, written by Timmy Megan and Colt Honig. We had them on the show as well. Just a tremendous team. Ken is one of my favorite artists. I've had so much fun working with him and working on him. But you can see the beautiful, beautiful work that he does here. Look at this. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. So, Tom, thank you for bringing that up. I'm really excited about Red Collar. It's going to be a terrific comic. Let's see. Tom's here. I thought I smelled shrimp and sour cream and latex paint, or maybe just latex. Let's see. While I was painting the interior of a pantry at summer camp today. Oh, white, sorry. And Mark says, thank God they can't see the rest of that trash heap. It's like if ADHD had an address. Absolutely. Well, if I have to keep soft shoeing here, I might end up giving a tour of it just to have something for the show tonight. But that's not what I'm going to do. If you guys want to ask me any questions about anything at all, pop them in the chat, and I'll be happy to talk about anything you want me to bring up. I may give truthful answers. I might tell total lies, but it should be entertaining. And what I'm going to do in the meantime is I'm going to start introducing what our guest was here to talk about. Are you wearing a Hierophant Tarot card shirt, Christian? Yes. Yes, I am. Exactly what I'm wearing. Good eye, Tom. Yeah, this, I can't remember the company name, and I'm ashamed to say that. We were at a con, and I go over to this guy's table, and he's got nothing but tarot card inspired t-shirts. And I got this, the Lovers, and the Sun. I wanted to get all of them, but I knew my wife would kill me if I came home with another million t-shirts. But yeah, no, this is one of my favorites. I'm a big fan of the side of tarot cards, as you can see. In fact, I have a comic series that I've been writing for a couple of years that's going to be revealed soon, inspired by them. So who are we going to have on tonight? Well, our guest, if I may bring him up, is Harvey. No, it's Hey, Kenneth is here. Hello, Kenneth. How are you? Nice to see you. Brian, good to see you, man. You always confuse me by which name you put up. Brian just put out a great announcement that issue 2 is going to be shipped out, and issue 3 is almost done. So of his magazine, Weird Stories. which is in my pile here, but I'm not going to take a chance of knocking everything over. So let's talk a little bit about what we're covering tonight. I'm going to go right to the Kickstarter page because, well, you know what? Let me introduce the man, even though he's not here. We're going to talk to Doug Wood tonight. Doug Wood is an incredible comic creator, just a brilliant writer, brilliant creator. 2, he is an absolute patron saint friend to indie comics folk. And I'm sure everyone else in the universe, because he's just a hell of a great guy. But if you want to get some help, to be mentored into getting into this indie comic world, Doug is there. He literally will write it over and over again. Anything you need, come see me. Doug Wood is amazing. The only thing he won't do is show up for my show tonight. But Doug has been a mentor to us at Fugitive Poems. His first book, if I believe I'm right, that he put out was Project Big Hype. It was inspired by the Shonen Jump style books that really introduced manga to the United States of America, where there were a lot of different comics and different stories, almost sort of like Heavy Metal Magazine, where every issue move forward different storylines within the book. He followed that up with Big Hype, which I got to move my other hand, which has this badass cover on it. Jack Van Tome is in these books. A lot of great comic jammers, the comicjam.medium.com, new one-page comic every week, are in this. He then put out, well, I'm going to skip that one. The last thing that he released was The Loser Pool, which is another manga-inspired comic about a sort of wild, way off the charts fight wrestling crew. It's a ton of fun. The last time he was on the show was with Jack Van Tome, because they had done In the Pale Moonlight, which has gone out digitally, is beautiful, and is about to come out physically. But what we're going to talk about tonight, oh, Kenneth, Brian, I keep doing that because it says Kenneth. Brian said, nice, I visited the Shonen Jump office in 92. Oh, that's really cool. Were you invited or swiftly escorted out? Not sure what, my phone didn't notify me. I don't know what that's about. But I hope you like our coverage of your new book. Doug smelled Tom was around. Hold on. Doug smelled Tom was around and split. The smell of latex and sour cream gave him a headache. Oh, you missed the start of the stream? I was talking about you. I did a whole thing on Letters from the Void, but you can watch it later. So probably soon. This might be a short show tonight because I have been abandoned, but abandoned by an amazing, amazing person. So let's take a look here at Ultramax. Ultramax was an incredible book, is an incredible book that Doug put out. That's the story of a henchman. This is such a great concept, who accidentally succeeds in killing a superhero. Like, imagine if one of Lex Luthor's goofy thugs accidentally did the thing that ended Superman. That is the concept here. And he ends up going to Ultramax prison, a superhero jail. This is a non-stop action and intrigue-filled book. It is a ton of fun. Doug not only is a great writer and a great sense of plot, but he has these brilliant layouts. And he works with his artists to really get these layouts across in beautiful ways. This cover is something I'm completely taken with. Ultramax is also a natural male enhancement, I've told. I wouldn't know. I only know about things involving rhino bone. No, I know nothing. So this got some incredibly cool fight scenes in it, some incredible characters. Look at that guy. My stomach is kind of like that, just an open mouth wanting more food, but this is literalized. So this is Ultramax, and you missed it, but you should get it. I thought that was Alphamax. That's the main competitor. So You missed it. You can't get it anymore. Ha ha. Well, that's actually not the case. Not at all. Because Doug is back again with Ultramax 2. So let's share that screen and talk Ultramax 2. So we are here, and you notice right at the top, the first thing you see is Ultramax Volume 1 and 2. That means you can get the entire story right here. If you missed the incredible first Ultramax, you can get it with Volume 2, and Volume 2 takes it to a new level. I am a backer. I cannot wait to get this book. Let's take a look at what we've got here. So Ultramax will be two 100-page graphic novels. That's Volume 1 and 2. Each 100-page story will be printed separately and available to own. Volume 1 is already complete, and funding for this campaign will see us complete Volume 2. Doug Wood is the writer, and artist Michael Pickard for Volume 1, and Vinicius Carrero for Volume 2. Let's take a look at this incredible art. So this is in process. You see Volume 1 and Volume 2 art here. This Vincius is a great artist. Really cool way of going ahead and getting the art across. Here's some art from Volume 1, which I was just showing you. You can see one of my favorite shots, which I took for the logo for this show tonight. And then let's get down. I said, let's get down, and this dude's taking off his pants. That was poor timing. To Volume 2. And here we have, look at the total shift in tone. This is a whole different story that takes place in the Ultramax world with a gun that would make Rob Liefeld lustful. Absolutely fantastic. This is energy, action, excitement, and I cannot wait for it. What I want to ask Doug is where he got the idea from, how it connects to... and that's, I mean, this is pretty much how every workday ends for me, with my boss yelling this. How it connects to the first Ultramax. Let's take a look at the rewards here, though. First, I'm going to pop over and see if we got some comments. Ultramax 2 for when Ultramax isn't having the same effect on your libido. I guess Mark is now waiting for Ultramax 4, Claudio said. I'm hoping 17 comes out this year. And Luke says, hopefully with better feet as well. I'm assuming that's a Liefeld reference or a reference to what Mark is craving next. These two conversations could easily go together. But then why do you yell at me at the end of every workday like that? So let's look. We've got the suspect, which is a PDF of the issue. You know, I want to say something about digital comics. Whenever I run a comic campaign and the digital comic orders come in, as an artist, my first response is, no, you want the book. We put together something shocking and beautiful, like Blood Valkyrie in Vegas. I'm like, you want to hold it, you want to turn the pages. But then the rest of my brain kicks in. And you know what? Thank God for the people that back digitally, because they really help the profits go to printing more copies of the book. They're still getting the book. They're still reading the book, but they're really helping. And I joked with Elijah Joseph about this, because the first thing he released were digital copies of his book. Print is not dead, but really it's helping to keep print alive. Do I want you to have a physical copy of the book that takes me even longer to do packing? Yes, I do, because I dig sending that out. But when you back digitally, you are also really helping the creators. And I think that's an important thing. So let's get back over to our Kickstarter. So Doug has for Ultramax 1 and 2 the lineup, which is digital as well. Let's see. The handcuffs, this is all digital. That's the whole deal. Let's get, so look, up to $30, you can get some incredible digital collections of these books. Let's see what else is available, though. You can get Ultramax and the Ultramax Death Row original graphic novel for just $55. So you get two 100-page graphic novels for just $55. That's absolutely incredible. If I could do math, I would tell you what that was individually, but I can't even fathom what the answer might be. But for $60, you get all of Doug Wood's comics digital. Now, I want to point something out about that. Where the hell did I just put them? I don't know where I put them. They're right next to me. All of Doug Wood's comics digitally includes, where did you guys go? There we go. These two books. Now I'm going to turn these books sideways. Take a look. Oh, hold on. We got Doug chiming in. Okay. Hopefully he just saw my message. Hopefully he's got the wrong time zone because we're in a different time zone. But look at this. This book, I don't know if it has page numbers. It doesn't, but it's freaking huge. So imagine backing and getting all of Doug's work. You're going to get a ton of comics, all the comics you could possibly want. And like the Fugitive Poems anthologies, these are perfect bathroom reads. Just one story per session. It's absolutely fantastic. So let's see if we can get Doug to sign in here. And I'm gonna pause in my talking about this so that he can talk more about it. New York is always the wrong time zone. Get the hell out of here. All right, forget what I said about Luke's book. We got some New York hate going on. Can't have that. No, go check out here while I'm waiting for Doug. Let's take another quick look at Letters from the Void. Window. Here we go. Share. Whoa, that's trippy. Okay, that's the wrong thing. That actually was pretty incredible. Where is Letters from the Void? There it is. So Luke, you want to type a little something in the chat about what Letters from the Void is, since I already did my talking about it? Here it is, Letters from the Void, an existential horror comic. You want to go to it on Kickstarter and click Notify Me on launch, so it'll say saved for you. This is such a cool comic. It is such a cool project. It's got a lot of my friends in it, including Ken Fontana, who we were just talking about drawing Red Collar. Look, kids, Grampy's learning the internet. There we go. Oh, we got Life on Saturn here. Welcome, Ultramax, because regular Max wasn't extreme enough. That's exactly right. That's the vibe that Doug is going for. All right, here we go. Oh, I read that. That's what it says on the Kickstarter. After aeons of humanity shouting all its fear and anxieties into the void wants to chat back with comics. This feels like exactly that's happening because it's an echo of exactly what I said at the beginning when I read the top of the Kickstarter. But folks, you're going to want to check it out. It is, it's a really, really cool book. Pardon me, I recommend it highly. Doug is about to sign on. You're almost done watching me tap dance, which is actually particularly funny tonight. Okay, I'll stop being a marketer. Actually funny tonight because it's also hot as hell in here. So it looks like I'm flop sweating, and maybe I am. I have no idea. But we'll have Doug on in a minute, and until then, I'm going to tap dance some more. He doesn't know he left the port vodka. No shame. This is true. Absolutely right. So what we're going to do is we're going to ask Doug a little bit about Ultramax 1, how it got to 2, and have him tell us about these really great rankings. That's the wrong word. Rewards that we've got. I only have 5 minutes left. Yeah, no, that's probably not going to be the case. Dude, man, I did this on my own for 24 minutes. That's pretty good. I think I'm all right. Mark, at least you were in the chat there. Thank you to all of you in the chat tonight. Anyone want to shout out a project that they're working on that we can give some hype to here on the show? By shout out, I mean slowly type while we all sit here in silence and wait. Doug's here. All right, everybody shut up. Nobody cares about your projects anymore. Doug's here.
Hello. I'm so sorry. I wrote down Central instead of Eastern. I don't know what I was thinking.
No worries. I've been doing your book for you. So you get to watch this later and tell me how much I got wrong.
Okay. Oh man. I was supposed to be coaching a softball game that the other town decided not to warn any of us that it was not happening anymore. So we wasted all of our time. I could have been here doing this the whole time.
Ah, well, I'm glad. Listen, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad we figured it out. What I was doing, not to go over it all again, but I showed people your big hype project, talked about how you jumped into kickstarting a little bit, and then I showed them the loser pool.
Yes.
I reminded them that they had seen In the Pale Moonlight on this very show, and then I showed Ultramax. And what we've been doing is taking a look at your amazing Kickstarter. So, ladies and gentlemen, brief introduction. This is Doug Wood,
Hello.
incredible human being, mentor to indie comic people, dear friend of mine and ours at Fugitive Poems, and a stellar creator and writer. Doug, you got to do something really important here. I've been talking for 25 minutes. Everyone probably wants to kill me, so I got to turn it over to you.
Okay.
Let's jump right in. What the hell is Ultramax?
All right, Ultramax. The first volume was kind of a story about a superhero or supervillain drama in like a prison setting. So I'm so sorry, my cat is banging on the door right now. Anyways, let me see if I can fix that real quick. No, actually, just forget it. They so supervillain drama. It's the world's most famous superhero gets killed by a regular henchman, and as he goes to jail, everybody wants to make a name on for themselves, and so he's trying to hide that he's actually a snitch for the feds. So it's a complicated situation that, hey, everybody already wants to make a name off of him, but if they realize he's snitching, it's game over for him.
Absolutely. And so you kind of combine genres in this. There's an action superhero element, but there's also a lot of intrigue going on and even politics. Yes. Is that generally how a story comes to you with all these different facets?
For my superhero work, I always like to do like superhero plus another genre. It seems like In the Pale Moonlight was superhero, but also, you know, murder mystery. This is kind of like I said, like crime or drama with plus superheroes. Just for some reason, that's what I like to do. I don't like to do just straight on superhero stuff. I like to come at it from like an angle of like an everyday guy or whatever, you know, just something that makes it just not straight on superheroes. I don't know why that is, but that's just the way my brain thinks.
I think that's a perfect antidote to what we have going on. Is that for the last, I showed my kids Thor the other day, the first Thor movie, and looked at the year it was made and went, holy crap. How long have we been watching, you know, this great, exciting thing that happened and Marvel finally started making good movies? We've been watching these for almost, 15 years, something like that?
Yeah.
And people are getting superhero fatigue. Now, I just dig a good movie. I'm happy. But I don't go searching out new superheroes unless they're doing something like what you are doing. I think genre bending or mashing, honestly, is a better term for it, leads to all new concepts, and you're doing a great job with that. But let me ask you, how do you then keep that energy up, that creative spontaneity and originality when doing a sequel? How does Ultramax 2 come out of this?
Yeah. It was a little hard to do because the pitch for the second one is it's like the superhero now, former superhero, found himself locked up in jail, and he's bad up. He wants drugs. They got him addicted to drugs while being a superhero, but nobody wants to sell to him because obviously he's come from, you know, not from them, right? They all don't know exactly what superhero he is, but it's only a matter of time. But there's one person offering. They're offering him a hit, but they want him to go take out his former best friend that's sitting on death row. So I don't know. There's a lot of there was a talk way when we first were wrapping up Ultramax 1, me and the co-creator Michael Picard. He sadly couldn't work on the second volume with me, but we had been talking, and he had an idea for a story, and I had an idea for a story. And when we got the rights back to our to the comic that I realized, oh, actually, we can actually combine those two stories, and they actually really gel really well. And so I was really happy that we both got like an insert piece to the puzzle.
Oh, that's great. Mark writes, Doug, this is awesome, man.
Thank you.
And Claudio, awesome twist, Doug. Very, yeah. I think, and the way you're describing them, they're so exciting. It's very cool in the creative world to like somebody personally and also like their art and their
Yeah, yeah,
work. Because there's nothing worse than liking someone personally but not liking their work and having to figure that out. That tap dance, right? I
yeah.
have been a fan of your writing since I first was introduced to it, and I read Ultramax several times. I had so much fun with Ultramax,
I appreciate it.
and I was really curious where you were going to take it next. But well, speaking of things that people love, I see here Luke said we love a full ass. There's probably context there, but I'm not going to go looking for it. Uh, so we're just going to leave that as it is. You switched artists on this project. You said
Yeah,
Michael wasn't available.
yeah.
How did you find your new artist, and how did it change the process?
Yeah. So, yeah, Michael wasn't involved. I said, Michael, would you like to do this again? We got an opening. You got an opening, and he said, no. I think right now I got to do life right now and comics has got to take a back seat. But he did give me his blessing to go and look for a new artist. I had worked with Vinicius. He had reached out to me and said, hey, would you be willing to team up with me for the unseen, unheard disability neurodivergence anthology? And
I have it.
I said, I have nothing to write about that. And he said, well, just please think of something. And I had this idea forever that I wanted to try to do longer form. And somehow I finally managed to put it together. And luckily he drew the hell out of it. And the editors were kind. I don't know if they were just being kind, but they said it kind of made them tear up a little bit. And so I felt like, hey, maybe we should continue this path together. And I asked him if he would be willing to do Ultramax with me. So that's kind of the genesis of working with him.
I love your story in Unseen Unheard.
Thank you.
It's fantastic, and my brain did not connect that it was the same artist.
Yeah.
Aha. Oh, terrific. All right. So now, and folks, this is a great anthology. Unseen Unheard is terrific. So, all right. So you've now worked with this artist. So
Yeah.
it's not a total mystery what that's going to be like.
Yeah.
But you are bringing this artist into a creation that already exists.
Yeah.
It already had a feel to it. And you've already got ideas that come out of the previous one, but you've got to integrate this new artist in. What was that process like?
Pretty seamless, luckily for me, because I kind of mentioned, hey, I wanted to start this with a kind of like 90s Liefeld extreme, just that kind of like touchstone at the start of it. And he said, I know what you're doing. Let me take care of it. And he went out and he produced those first pages on the preview. And I was like, okay, yes, I'm sold. You know what you're doing. You know what we're trying to accomplish. And so that really worked out. And then he turned around and did a couple pages for the prison scenes. And I just thought they looked phenomenal. I was like, okay, yeah, this is awesome.
Great. Has Michael talked to him at all? Have they had any interconnectivity?
No, unfortunately not.
Okay. Has Michael seen the new pages, the new work?
I think so. I think I sent it to him. I just can't remember what was the reaction though. I couldn't.
Because it's such a cool thing, and James likes to work like with Blood Valkyrie in Vegas. Alex Zapata drew that, and
Yeah.
I mean Florida, and you know that because Doug Wood flatted it.
Yeah.
Doug Wood flatted Blood Valkyrie in Vegas. So when we put our heads on the chopping block for outrageously not safe for work stuff, don't forget to round up Doug because he's part of the problem too. He's guilty as well. But James, you are culpable, sir. James did the cover and got to play with Alex's design for Blood Valkyrie and make it its own thing. So I know as an artist, he really likes getting to play with other people's characters as well. And he's always excited to see when other people do a take on one of his.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
Um,
wonder if Michael must be excited.
I know, when we did the first volume, a few people did fan art, which was like the first time for us, and that I think we both were like, yes, this is awesome. That people would took, and it ended up being the same character. But both people liked the Anubis headed character that we had in the comics, so it was pretty awesome.
There's been some Liefeld joking, and Claudio said the artist did a great job. Plus, he drew really great feet. And
Yes, yes.
Mark said Eddie Murphy approved the feat, which I'm sure Eddie Murphy keeps hoping someone will forget, but we don't forget. Um, Tell me about, so you're doing this Kickstarter. You've got In the Pale Moonlight shipping soon, right?
I just got them in today. I was going to show you but unfortunately it's downstairs right now. Little damage, so we're going to get some new ones here in a little bit, but I got some of the first ones I can start sending out hopefully here in the next couple of days.
Okay, great. Well, I'm sorry to hear that they're damaged, but I can't wait for them to start coming out. Folks, I already read In the Pale Moonlight digitally,
Yes.
which I never do, by the way. I want to read everything physically, but I could not wait to read this story. And it did not disappoint. It went above and beyond. You and Jack Fantoni are an incredible team. And it's so much fun. And this is again where you've genre melded with this closed room murder mystery and superheroes. And it
Yeah.
really is, it's so cool. So that's going to be coming out soon. And
Yes.
now Christian keeps putting up my most deranged comments.
I was gonna say I really appreciate Jack because he understood the weird and trippy nature that I was trying to evoke, and so I was just happy that he was able to push what I was hoping to get. And I have there's sometimes I have ideas where I could draw it out myself because I have such a clear idea what the page should look like, and in the Pale Moonlight issue 2 I have that really clear, like I'm hoping Jack can like nail what I'm, because I want to get weird.
Well, it's funny that you say that because before you signed on, while I was telling everyone that you had abandoned me and I was crushed, I was talking about how in your writing you have such a sense of layout and that you work with artists who really get it. And
Yeah,
Jack is great at both having his own ideas and incorporating what the writer is thinking and having the sense for which is the right time for which.
yeah,
Uh, Luke,
yeah.
you're your own twisted, perverted words.
I always try to let artists know, hey, you can do what you want to do, and Jack is very good about like, hey, pushing where he needs to, but he does ask me, he says, hey, you're okay with this, and I'm always like, yeah, go for it, because he usually is above what I can imagine myself.
Same here. Absolutely. All right. So let's take a look at the page. I already showed it off a bit
Okay.
while you were ignoring me. So this is, I'm just going to keep teasing. You know I love you. The Kickstarter page, what I was doing was I was doing a very poor job of talking about the rewards. We
Okay.
talked about the digital rewards. Can you give us some of the highlights of the physical rewards?
Sure.
Obviously you get the books. What else we got going on?
Yeah. So if you back the $100, so Vinicius has been drawing these supervillain OCs for people if you want one, if you back that tier. And you can either get just like a regular art drawing from him, or you can get him to draw you as a villain or your villain as an OC. Whatever you want to do, he's there to do it. There's the A5 size, which is a little bit smaller size, and then there's the A4 size, a little bit bigger. And he already drew like some of the characters from the book, if you want one of those instead. And then the biggest one to get drawn into the book, and we have a couple of people that done that. We actually have one person returning from the first series, and he got a big part in there, and we hope to expand on it because it's actually the perfect guy to come back because he's gonna want some revenge, I think.
If I back this level, I want to be eaten violently by the dude with the stomach mouth.
I mean,
That would be
that's
my request.
almost all the violent deaths in the comic were the backers. I didn't mean to do that, but I just kind of what happened.
Will he draw Luke as a villain if someone else pays? So can we do that?
Yeah, I think we can do that.
All right. So we can actually hire you guys to slander and malign others with your art. I like this.
Probably we actually
had since fourth grade.
We actually had a problem with that. We were a little worried. One of the backers on a previous book was a thing. We're like, I hope this wasn't a like a revenge type of thing. Like they backed it and they sent us pictures of somebody that they wanted to see get killed. I don't know. We were both like, me and the artist were talking over like, we might need to put like some kind of like disclaimer for now on to make sure that in case this kind of thing.
Yeah. So it's the comic version of revenge porn.
Yeah. It was.
Well, Luke said you had permission. Revenge me, Daddy.
Oh, okay.
All right, so we're all going to chip in and get Luke in a horrendous death in this book.
Okay.
So what else we got here?
Those were the big ones. The two physical there. Those are the other ones. And then just you can get either the first volume or the second volume if you've already got the those were the other smaller tiers, and then offering up the all my books, the whole like is the right word, bibliography, is that the right word?
Sure. No, there's a better word. I can't think of it. It's gone.
Yeah.
Over. Your whole over.
Yeah, there we go. Because the other word I was thinking was discography, and I was like, that's not right. That's for music, and so.
Also, Claudio, you're getting shanked in Ultramax prison. I finally have some form of power. Revenge my butt too. Wait, there's been a lot of butt conversation in the comments today, which frankly is entertaining the hell out of me. Doug, when does this campaign end?
I think around October 15th, I think is the date. October 16th.
Okay. All right. And what's the timeline on completing the book after that? How much do you have done?
We only have the first section done. That's why the campaign's a little bit bigger than typical. We were really trying to raise the funds to be able to produce the art. So we're going a bit higher than this is probably my highest campaign goal I've ever asked for. And hoping we can turn it around and make something happen.
Great. Well, I folks, I cannot encourage you enough. I have been a fan of Doug's for, since I found out about his writing, since I met Doug. We're going back 5 or 10 years now. This book is so solid. It's so exciting. And I can't wait for volume 2. Doug, what's next? You're always working on something. What's in the works now?
Let's start with the first one. The first one is another like super villain blending thing. I wanted to cover about like a guy who inherits his dad's super villain like empire, but he doesn't want it. And so like imagine like you're going to, after your parents pass away or whatever, there's always family bickering and stuff like that. But just imagine like those people bickering are actually super villains, wanting a piece of the family's pie and stuff like that, and broken up. So that's one of the ones I'm working on. I'm working with Brandon Albetsky and Travis James, who's inking it. And so I'll have to secretly give you a look at the cover and some pages in a little bit. And then
please do.
I'm working on a thing called Post America. It's kind of like After the war, the bombs had been dropped and they went into the fallout shelters. But now one of the guys who was meant to be, abandoned out, he feels guilty and he wants to take his troops and return them home. So,
Oh,
um,
wow.
and then the last one I want to talk about is I'm working on a thing called Lost London, and hopefully we're gonna kickstart that too soon. It's kind of like during World War II, the magic disappeared London and all the ley lines and all the magical power out of this dimension, and one escapee, I can't think of a proper term there, but one escapee finds a magical path to get back to the London that's been taken away. And so
I never hear anyone talk about ley lines. I have a novel in progress that's
oh, do you?
very directly involved in that concept. I started reading way, way back into water divining. The old. There's a great book about the old paths and roads of England and how they connect to the ley lines. I did a ton of research
Did you?
and
Okay.
started working on this. Not there is so much to be mined in the concept of ley lines. I
Yes.
love what you're talking about. So what's going on in Doug's head? This endless fountain of ideas. Do you have to? Is it like in certain situation, or is it just wherever you are, these sparks are always flying?
Uh, a lot of it's I'm reading something and it just inspires me usually, or watching something inspires me, and so then I have to make sure, hey, this hasn't happened before, and then I try to I don't know, just something, and it doesn't have to be like, hey, I could be like reading Jack Kirby, and it's his what was it, the oh, Etrigan. So it's, like that, but for some reason it's inspiring me to do something not superhero. It's inspiring me to do something, way off in the distance, but something clicks with me where reading like his, energy and his imagination inspires my imagination. I don't know why, but that's what happens to me.
That's that creative impulse where it just feeds and it takes. My
Yeah.
biggest fear whenever I get a new idea is that it's been done before. And
Yeah.
side note, it has.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Everything's been done before. But can you do it with a twist that no one else has thought of?
Right.
And but my conspiracy brain is like, well, don't type it in the internet because if it hasn't been done, the internet will take it.
Yeah. I have the worst problem. I know my friends are tired of me talking because I get beaten to the punch so often, because I'm like, "Ah, if I had the money, I would make so much. I'd be ahead of so many what do you call it, pulp culture trends, because I was working on something. I talked to an artist, and all of a sudden, bam, something else comes out. I'm like, gosh dang it, why am I so connected to like the world hive mind that we keep like I keep digging into? It's crazy.
I had my first experience with that. But by the way, Kenneth said I would love to read a story about ley lines, and Luke said ley lines, Ley. A ley line is something very
Yeah, yeah.
different. Yeah, it's also very. You got to be very flexible to get yourself into a good ley line. Uh, I was in, I was in high school, and I was already writing. I loved writing. Whether it was any good or not, I still don't know that.
Yeah.
But I came up with this story about this guy that dies and death comes to him and offers him a job as death. And he takes the job only to find out that there are all these other deaths that take care of all these other parts of the world, and they've got their own drama amongst each other. And I actually sent this short story to some magazines. I didn't get accepted, but I got some really positive response. It's a really cool story. Good idea. Keep writing. And then within 6 months of having sent these puppies out, the show, because I'm old, this is a long time ago, Dead Like Me came out.
Yeah.
And that was my first experience as an artist of absolutely being crushed.
Yeah, yeah. You feel like you're like, how? Why? It's not fair. It's like,
I had it. That was mine.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Try shrooms, Tom said. They'll straighten you right down to a nice lay line. She in Italian, Lei. Doug, I am so glad that you joined us today. And then we got to talk to you about this this really cool project. You got to watch the beginning of the show and let me know if I did you a service or disservice. I tried really hard to represent on my own.
Okay. I appreciate you doing this in regardless. I'm so sorry I got the times. I keep forgetting East Coast, East
No,
Coast, East Coast.
no worries, no worries. But I'm so glad we got to get you on, and I thank you, folks. You want to go to Kickstarter and look for. I don't have the new book, so I can't show you that. Ultramax and Ultramax. What's the name of the sequel?
Death Row.
Ultramax Death Row. Get on there, back it. This is Doug's highest goal that he's done on a Kickstarter, and it deserves to get it. You deserve to get these books. If you don't have Ultramax 1, I can tell you firsthand that you're missing out. It's one of the books, and I got a lot of books in here. It's one of the few books that I have read multiple times. And I think you'll have a great time with it. And Ultramax Death Row looks absolutely tremendous. In the Pale Moonlight, is that going to be available for purchase anywhere else anytime soon?
Very soon. I was about to say something. I'd always forget to say that I really appreciate you took a look at an early draft of that, and you understood what it was, that not everybody could understand what it was, and you recommended me some I think a play. Yeah, it was a play, and that had the kind of same kind of core weird idea. And I was like, oh, I so appreciated you that, because that like it helped make sure that I was like on a path that wasn't like way out in left field. So I really appreciated you reading that early draft and giving me some homework that really like solidified that it wasn't a worthless waste of time.
Well, Doug, it's always an honor to read your writing, and there's nothing I enjoy more than trading writing talk and book recommendations back and forth. So always happy to do that. Doug, I thank you so much for being here. Folks, go to Kickstarter, go to Ultramax, get your copy now, get drawn in. Let's all chip in. Everyone send in pictures of Luke. And we'll make Luke every background character. I actually have that happening in Stripper Clip Sally. We had someone pay for a cameo, our dear friend Evan Knapp, and Evan Knapp is now every bad guy. They all look like him. It was a gag that came to me. James loved it. He's going to get a book with his face all over it. Mark says, cheers, Doug. Bravo.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you for everybody showing up. Appreciate you all.
Brian, Luke, Claudio. Am I forgetting anyone? Thank you, Mark. Thank you, everyone, for being part of the show tonight. Life on Saturn. Thank you guys for joining. Dom and Lyd. Guys, check this project out. I'm Christian DeMatteo. This is The Art Will Not Be Changing, the Fugitive Poem Show. And we will see you. This show is never scheduled. Just keep an eye out on our X and our Instagram, and you'll find out when we're happening. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.